Sophia Di Martino, Owen Wilson, and Loki himself, the god of mischief, Tom Hiddleston.
Good afternoon, everybody.
So we are here with glorious purpose. We're also going to, obviously we could make this a fashion panel because, I mean, come on, this is a pretty great dress panel here. But before we do that, we're going to take a look at a clip from season 2 of Loki. We're all going to go get neck massages after that. I was thinking about something the other day, Tom. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have played Loki now for 12 years. 15, sorry. Add an extra 3, yes. And 12 episodes of television. How many movies?
6.
And you've died how many times?
Officially 2. Officially 2, but they weren't, well, they felt like real endings, but it turns out they weren't.
Yeah.
Dark World, Thor the Dark World, when Loki joins the fray to save Thor, and then we reworked it, and he was sitting on the throne at the end. And then Avengers Infinity War was the second one.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe not the last one.
Well, only on that timeline.
Yeah.
What's been so thrilling is that I think the reason I've absolutely loved playing Loki, and it has been 15 years. It's been the most magnificent and emotional roller coaster full of twists and turns. And he has so much range and so much complexity, and it never feels like the same thing. But I know that the reason I'm standing here, or sitting here in front of you today, is that the audience has such curiosity and passion for and connection to him, and I owe that to them.
And there it is. Sophia, Sylvie has become a huge fan favorite. And your portrayal, and I made a joke at the beginning, but I have to say really that McDonald's in Oklahoma was something. That was really something. For you, the second season takes your character, if you're the kind of a universe-destroying Loki variant in season 1, there's a very different arc for you in season 2. Give us a sense, what was that like for you when you guys came back, and how did Sylvie change for you?
Well, Sylvie's in a completely different space in series 2. Series 1, she's super angry. She just wants revenge. She wants to kill the man at the end of time. And in the second series, she has to deal with her choice. I think she's trying to find some stillness and some peace within herself, and trying to assimilate into like a normal human life, which is difficult because she's an outcast. She's a weirdo. She's not normal, and she has a go, but she doesn't quite manage it. It all gets, ripped away from her, and in the end, it's quite a tragedy for Sylvie, I think.
First gets saved, kind of, what have you. Oh, and Mobius is, we see, what?
No spoilers!
Really? It's on Disney Plus! Okay, no spoilers. So, you like some athletic wear, and you like doing things athletic. When we meet Mobius in season 1, the chemistry between the two of you was amazing, as the chemistry was with you, Sophia. And when you leave at the end of season 1, it really feels like, I felt like, how are they going to make this go more? And you guys did, you really did, with the way the timeline and the TVA, the 1,000 minutes, all new characters, whatever. What was it like for you coming back? Because they so enlarged the range of the character this time around.
Well, I was excited to come back, and I didn't think of it so much that they kind of widened the range. It's still sort of, I guess we don't want to talk about spoilers, but...
The show's been out for almost 7 months. Oh, and the people have spoken, you can tell.
Well, I think with, in the sort of dynamic between, between us, certainly in the first season, and the way I kind of am, kind of probing anything about his life. It's a little bit flipped in season 2 where Mobius has lost some of his certainty and kind of is questioning a lot of things. And what you were just saying about looking for some, I like the way you put that, some stillness and peace. I think Mobius is trying to kind of figure out what he might have been doing on the timeline before. With a pop quiz, ruler.
I'm going to make an assumption that things have wrapped up. What is it like for you now at the end of that long run with this character who's been so, I mean, you've had the success with The Night Manager, which is coming back for another run, and many, many others, but, for a lot of people, like I remember being at Comic-Con several years
Proud of where we've ended up in season 2. It was very creatively fulfilling to bring something full circle. I always saw him from the very first film, the first Thor movie. I saw him as a broken soul with a shattered heart who felt like he didn't belong. He didn't belong in his family. He was an orphan. He was adopted. He was on the margins, an outcast. And that's what binds him to Sylvie. They both are. And all that grief hardens into grievance, and the grievance is what drives him to become a villain.
Things on them, which is also quite rare. They don't just stop. Like they're huge builds that they feel like real worlds. So the sets definitely help. You to feel like you're in that place. And the TVA especially feels super claustrophobic because of all of the corridors, and it's all real. You're really there.
It was sometimes exciting when we were going to move on to a new scene and a new location, like what's the set going to look like?
Yeah.
Because when you would walk on, it was...
Like, wow.
Well, that's the thing. I wonder. I think maybe you told me this once about something we were talking about. Like, when you're on a good production design set, like, I don't mean to say like, you put on the outfit and it's not, you're not working, but like, you just kind of go there. Like, you open a drawer and there's a TVA magazine in there, and there's all that. Like, was that something you found, Owen? Like, it put you in the place.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm just thinking of kind of my favorite sets, and I love, where we're introduced to Key. I thought that set, Ouroboros was one of the best.
Okay, now we have to do the game. Sophia, what's your favorite set?
The World's Fair. There's like an actual giraffe. Yeah, like real animals, and so many essays all like working their asses off and looking amazing, and the costumes, and it's just incredible. And you're on a Ferris wheel that moves. How?
But was your second one the one where we meet Key?
Someone's going to choose the results.
Okay. And then I don't know, maybe from here to the end of the theatre, a length of a gangway where you're looking up at this extraordinary generator that runs the order of reality.
Does that make it for you? Sophia mentioned it about there not being as many green screens as you usually see.
A wave of radiation was coming towards us through from outside the observation window, and the shutters were down, and the art department and the special effects department were able to make the shutters rattle in the most terrifying way. It was like being in an aeroplane and you think something awful's going to happen. And the sound of the rattling, do you remember? You felt it. And I just pay tribute to everybody behind the scenes who made that, because it helps us be precise in the application of our imagination, for sure.
I have to ask you, is there going to be more of you in Loki?
And what was very satisfying was to then develop the story as a narrative in 2 volumes. That we're going to have 12 episodes to tell this story. And in the first episode of the first season, we were going to break Loki down, break his psyche open, create existential crisis and anxiety and doubt, to give him a huge problem, and then take 12 episodes to find resolution. And across that time, he would meet Sylvie and have this relationship with Mobius where they become after sort of being analysed, they sort of become an unlikely friendship. And that all of these characters would go on a journey together because the stakes would get so high. So I feel like it's been 2 volumes, and anything beyond that, I can't, wish I could tell you, but I have no idea.
We all can hope and pray. Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of Loki.